prince of interfaith dialogue, Shahzada and Badshah. He symbolized bringing people together, as my friend Dr. Atun just mentioned. And it is befitting that on this day, we are here, the Sikh community, but also my friend Dr. Nisar Chaudhry, the leader of the Muslim and Pakistani community, Manjula Kumar, who is so active in promoting interfaith dialogue, and my assistant and student senator from American University, Dylan Kaplan. It is befitting because we have every religion represented to celebrate with us. I am personally grateful to Dr. Adwan. I have been admiring his activity for many years. He represents South Asia, he represents the Sikh community, he represents India and Pakistan with great dignity and pride. I'm grateful to my friends Dr. Nisar Chaudhry, to Manjula, to Dylan, and I'm grateful to you for giving me this great honor to celebrate with you this great occasion. I want to make three brief points. One of a philosophic nature, the second of a historic nature, and the third of a personal nature in relation to our celebration. Firstly, the philosophic observation on this occasion. We are living in a world of change, of challenge, of opportunities, the age of globalization. And after 9/11, these challenges are accentuated, they're exaggerated, and the opportunities open up to us both. So there's a contradictory movement in our world. And the questions that force us to be philosophers are questions that Guru Nanak pondered half a millennium ago. Questions such as, who are we? Why are we here? How do we relate to others? How do I treat others? And Guru Nanak's life, his teachings, his stories, the instructions he has left us, provide us with the answers. So in one sense, if we are looking for role models for the 21st century, I believe that Guru Nanak Dev Ji provides us a role model. He is not only for the Middle Ages, he is for our ages in the 21st century. What he gives us in terms of us in society, to be able to meditate about God, to chant the names of God, the beauty of God, the beauty of unity, to live in this world, to be householders and yet think of divinity, and finally to live as a community, to share our wealth, to be part of a community. These are wonderful principles of any society. He's saying that when I am yours, O Lord, the whole world is mine. Everyone can relate to this. I can relate to it as a Muslim, as a 21st century citizen. It's a beautiful thing, and there are many, many like this coming to us from that great man. On a historic level, I want to point out the very important role he plays in South Asian history. Through Guru Nanak, through his life, you have the great synthesis and the great intersections of history between the two great religions of India, and now the third great religion, Sikhism. So you have all the great currents of history meeting in Guru Nanak. We know the close connections with both Hinduism and Islam. We know that Mian Mir, the great Sufi from Lahore, in fact laid the foundation stone at the Golden Temple. We know that Akbar, the Mughal emperor, my name of course is inspired by that man, Akbar, gave a golden gift to the Guru Granth Sahib. We know that when Dara Shikoh, the Mughal prince, fell ill, who was very close to the Sikhs, that the Sikh Guru prayed for him, prayed for his health. We also know the problems with Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor. But we must remember that that was not a clash between religions. Aurangzeb, in fact, also imprisoned his own father and killed his brothers. Yet, history teaches us much. And I learned even as a school boy up in Abbottabad, and this is the third part of my observations on this wonderful occasion. I was educated in Abbottabad up in North Pakistan, and I even as a child observed the great pilgrimages of our Sikh brethren and sisters who would come from India to Hassan Abdal. And I would wonder at these stories I heard about Guru Nanak. This wonderful story that he went to Mecca, and in Mecca he was sleeping with his feet pointing to Kaaba, and someone woke him up and said, "Your feet are pointing to Kaaba." So he said, "Why is that objectionable?" And he said, "You're pointing to God." So he said, "Then point my feet to where there is no God in this world." And it struck me even as a young boy that there was so much depth and sense and compassion in his observations. So the third part of my talk, and that is the personal part. I feel a great sense of pride in this day and age of challenge, of opportunities, in figures like Guru Nanak from South Asia. They bring us together. They also tell us that we need to hold on to the concept of the unity of God. Guru Nanak's shrine in Baghdad, which survived 500 years of history, was destroyed after 9/11 when the troops went into Iraq after the Iraq war began. A bit of history is destroyed. So we need to understand that by preserving our history, we preserve ourselves. And this is the dignity and identity that the message of Guru Nanak that comes through the generations gives us. I feel pain. I feel pain when I think of the recent history between Sikhs and Muslims and Hindus in the partition of India and the creation of Pakistan. I feel like a knife went through the heart of all of us and separated brothers and sisters and families. I grew up in Abbottabad, and I know how much contribution Sikhs had made to that little town and how much they loved it. Because later on in life, I met many Sikhs in Delhi who had come from Abbottabad, and I knew of their pain. And I also know that here in the United States, we have an opportunity to begin the process of healing. That is the ultimate message, and that is the importance of Guru Nanak Dev Ji today in the 21st century. It is a message of love, it is a message of compassion, and we living as ordinary mortals on this earth need that message constantly. And when it comes from an extraordinary figure like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, it is something that inspires us in our daily lives. So once again, let me conclude by wishing you Mubarak and saying Guru Nanak Dev Ji Zindabad, Zindabad, Zindabad. Shukriya.